YouTube, we have the second of the two newest Season X heroes coming this season, starting Monday, May 29th. By the way, just very quickly, I will be streaming that first day for a long period of time. So if you want to join, I'll be doing giveaways and stuff all throughout. So just subscribe, hit the bell, you'll get a notification, or join the Discord, and I'll post it there as well. Anyway, let's jump into it. So we have Super Kill Lori Grace. Again, these photos, if you didn't see the Theodore video, these photos have been taken from WeChat or Weixin, whatever. I actually got these images from a user on the community Discord, Kat. So shout out Kat for this image. Again, don't know if it's her screenshot or someone else's, but this is who I got it from. So we can see here we actually have another fighter hero. Armed Forces Warrior just means a fighter hero. Hero positioning melee is like a front row. So basically a tank front row fighter hero. This is the reason why I wasn't sure what Theodore would actually be, because this hero is obviously going to be a fighter hero, right? She has massive gloves, like robotic glove things. She's kind of like a cyborg, maybe cybernetic something. And for whatever reason, she really likes donuts. There's a funny comment. It was like, is she part of the Simpsons crossover? Maybe she's got Homer's donuts. Don't really know. Overall, her character design, interesting. Doesn't really match the backstory. She's basically Theodore's, like, I don't know, adopted daughter. She was found in like a cave, and now he's like her dad or something. Anyway, that's not what you guys came here for. You came here for the skills. So let's dive into those. So we have a pre-war skill. This is a prep skill. Again, this is all machine translated, so take this, with a big grain of salt. And then, of course, without actually seeing the percentages, without seeing the numbers, the chances, skill chance, who they actually hit, things like that, we won't really know. So that's why I don't give these ratings on these very, very first initial views. Once we actually see the skills in all of their glory, the percentages, everything, that's when I'll be doing the ratings that I give. Anyway, her second ability is her donut charging system. So I guess she eats the donuts and gets powerful. Each time the hero's party takes a certain amount of damage, the energy shield increases the damage done by the hero's party, reduces the damage taken, and can be stacked on multiple levels. Okay, so pretty simple. This is basically a get hit often, get buffs. So who knows how many times they have to get hit? Sometimes we've seen like eight times to get hit. It could be 4, it could be 5. We really don't know. Once that happens, she's going to gain like a stack, basically. She will then deal more damage and take less damage. So we've seen this a lot. This is very, very common in front row heroes. Basically, she'll just be like another counter to, the tuner APCs or the auto attacking APCs, including Jackie, Maggie, and potentially Daryl APCs as well. So we'll see how that goes. Not really sure. Again, we don't actually have the numbers, so it's hard to tell. Does it reduce the damage significantly? So she's like Angel, where she's basically unkillable. Does it increase her damage dealt significantly? So she's like Flare back when Flare came out and was incredibly meta and doing like 250 kills, or like Raven, for example. So who knows? We'll have to see. But usually those skills are pretty valuable. Yeah, they're usually just good skills. So her fifth ability, State Skills, Counterattack Posture. So this is quite likely a status skill, which differs from a prep skill and differs from a combat skill. A status skill is generally just self-inflicting onto basically the hero. When the hero's squad is damaged, there is a chance to counterattack, dealing high damage. Restores your strength. Okay. So again, this is machine translated, so a lot of this is very confusing. I'll try to break it down. Basically, whenever the hero takes damage, there's a chance to counterattack. We have, again, seen stuff like this, like Kamikaze, I believe, even, or Crusher. Some of the old school heroes used to do this. Basically, every time you get attacked, there's a percentage chance, we'll have to see what the percentage is, to then reflect damage and just deal damage back to whoever you got hit by. Also, you're going to restore health based on how much damage you dealt. So pretty normal stuff here. If like you stack up a bunch of her second ability here and you get increased damage dealt from her second ability, this could be dealing pretty good damage actually, because it's going to multiply based on her second ability. and you might be healing a bunch, so she could be really, really strong. We don't know. We'll have to see. The chance of counterattack could be incredibly low. The dealing high damage could be very, very low. Fighters in general don't deal the most damage, so normally instead of like high damage, it has to be like very high damage for it to really matter. But the fact that is based on every time she is hit, it's not like a combat skill. She could be hit 5 times around. She could be hit 7 times around, and this could just be happening over and over and over. And we might have ourselves another Raven, a just incredibly strong, a bunch of kills, really good tank. Sorry, that was my phone. So yeah, maybe she's Raven 2.0, maybe not. We'll see. And then her 8th ability, a pre-war skill, which is again another prep ability. So this is interesting. By the way, it's Shock While Fist. I guess this is finally where she punches. This is interesting. She has 0 combat skills. 0 combat skills. So yeah, pretty weird. Basically, CC is pretty much inefficient on her. Heroes that synergize with combat skills are inefficient with her. So yeah, cool, I guess. Deal additional direct damage to the enemy target squad after a certain number of counterattacks. Okay, so synergizing with her 5th ability. This is probably when it's going to really matter here, actually. This is probably when it's going to deal like mega damage. If you're able to counterattack on the same target multiple times, you'll deal additional damage. So this could be strong depending on how the situation goes. Like I said, just from her 2nd ability, you can tell that she counters auto-attacking heroes. So both of the 2 SP heroes we got, Jackie, Tuner, Cyclone, all of those types of heroes, she already was countering them based on her 2nd ability. Her 5th ability counters them even stronger, and her 8th ability counters them even more. So yeah, I mean, they're basically going to be completely out of the meta at this point, probably. Like the Tuner combos might be pushed out of the meta. There's more to her 8th ability. After a certain number of auto attacks, create an alloy shield for your team that reduces the damage taken by a certain percentage during the next turn while increasing the energy shield. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Again, based on a certain number of auto attacks. So really, or after a certain amount of counterattacks, which is basically just built on damage. She will also counter heroes that do damage over time abilities like poisons and things like that, which is basically what Theodore does, or what Theodore wants. So not only is she countering auto-attacking heroes, she honestly might be countering Theodore himself, because when a damage over time gets put on this hero, every tick of that damage, so like every round where that damage is actually activating, like she's getting burned, it's going to count as a damage on her, and it will give you a chance to counterattack. So pretty neat that they're kind of countering the other hero within the same pool. Usually that doesn't happen. Based on, I don't know, some random percentage chance, or like once it hits a certain number of counterattacks, who knows? It could be 5, could be 10, could be 2. She'll then shield everybody on the squad, or everybody in the APC. They'll take less damage with this shield. They'll take less damage. And then this shield will synergize with her 2nd ability, which increases the damage she deals and reduces the damage she takes. So with all of that, yeah, she just seems broken as hell. Really, really, really strong. Again, we won't know until we actually have the percentages, until we have the skill chances. But she seems insanely, insanely good. Like, insanely good. She'll counter a lot of the meta heroes with the damage over time stuff that I just briefly talked about. A lot of the meta heroes currently do a lot of different types of damage throughout. If you watch a battle report nowadays, it used to just be like 1 auto attack and then maybe a skill per hero. Now it's like 20 auto attacks, 15 skills, extra burning damage, extra damage because this guy burned and this other guy synergizes, and just very weird stuff like this. So she could be incredibly good, even just on her own. It doesn't really seem like she needs anything. However, obviously more heroes are better than none, right? So yeah, she'll basically just be a front row hero akin to Raven. I think she'll be Raven 2.0. There's no reason to replace Raven, quite likely. He's just insanely good. She'll just be another front row hero. Basically, the 5th APC that people are using, the previous season was like Angel APCs. So basically, she'll probably usher Angel out of the meta entirely, and she'll just become like maybe the third or fourth strongest tank in the game. So we have Annie. We'll have this girl, Grace, potentially. We don't know. Raven, and then Beast. So those are kind of like the four main tanks of the game. And then, like I said, Angel. So those will be like the main probably APCs. They'll all each have one of those heroes each, likely. And then, you know, a really strong damage dealer and a really strong support. So the meta basically becomes kind of what it always tried to be. You'll have one tank, one really strong tank, one support. Like we're getting Theodore, so that's another good support. We have Azure Dart, iFan. There's a lot of really good supports. So yeah, Theodore, and then just a really strong carry hero who may or may not necessarily care. So like Thunderbolt, he'll go really well with like Beast and Theodore, for example. We'll have Mech Pilot, who goes with iFan and Annie. Flash, who's can go with Azure Dart and whoever else. So it should be pretty fun. We should see a ton of combos. Again, it all depends on her skill percentages, her chances. Who knows? I have a good feeling about her, but I guess we'll see. Per usual, which actually wasn't the case last pool, the female is always the better one. So we'll see. As it comes down to it, once it gets closer in time to them being released, we'll get more information. I'll be sure to post it as quickly as possible. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you stay tuned for once we get the real data. It should be good. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Love y'all.